Welcome, everybody, to the Superhumanistic Podcast, where we talk about all things health, wellness, and longevity. Thank you for joining us today. We are your hosts. I'm David.
I'm Jessica.
Make sure that you hit that follow button on this podcast so you never miss another episode. We put out one episode a week on Saturdays. Also, check us out on YouTube and Instagram for additional content. And make sure that you share this podcast with someone that you love who is also on a health journey. Last week, we talked about the myth busters that are wrecking your diet. So if you want to learn more about certain foods that you should be eating, such as fruits and also white foods, but nutrient-rich ones, go back and listen to last week's episode to get more information on that. This week, we're going to be talking about a topic that could be personal to you, which is going to be exercise and depression. So we're going to be talking about those kind of energy vibes that you get whenever you're going for a walk, especially if you're going for a walk through a forest or a forest preserve. And if you've ever felt your mood boost because of that, this episode's really going to hit you. You should also definitely seek the advice of a doctor or a therapist if you're going through depression. But exercise could also be one of those additional tools that you can add to your tool belt.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Exercise is not the fix of everything. Definitely seek out support if you are feeling depressed and continuing to feel depressed. Sometimes we just need a little bit more to help us get through certain seasons in our life. So this is more so about why movement is one of the most evidence-backed tools that we have, and how we are able then to make it doable even on our low energy days.
Yeah, so we're going to jump into what the research actually says. So in some recent studies, they've highlighted really the major update from the Cochrane collaboration found that research reviewed 73 randomized control trials with nearly 5,000 adults with depression. Exercise showed a moderate benefit compared to doing nothing. So that's pretty good news already. Compared to therapy, exercise actually had a similar effect on the symptoms. And then compared to antidepressants, exercise also showed a similar effect. But the certainty was lower on the long-term results of those tests.
Yeah, so really the headline isn't that we need to throw away our medication. However, exercise can also be added to our routine when we're feeling down. It does belong on the table as a serious option for us.
Yeah, it always doesn't have to be or, it can be and. So you're still continuing on with your other therapies, but also including this into your tool belt as well.
Yeah, so then why movement changes our brain? We've talked about this on past episodes too, that how exercise impacts our bodies, especially our brain. We don't think of our brain as a muscle typically, but it is. We need to work it out just like we work out our bodies in general. So how does exercise even touch depression?
Yeah, well, when depression can kind of just make you feel like your brain is stuck in one gear. And when it comes to exercise, it can help get things flowing chemically and psychologically. So what happens when you move is you start to release those good mood-related chemicals in your brain, such as serotonin and dopamine. So those start to open up the pathways, and endorphins also go through. So many clinicians point to the overlap with the medication effects when it comes to those brain chemicals. So your brain gets growth signals as well. So that supports the neuroplasticity. So your ability to change and adapt, make new connections, learn new things, and keep expanding your comfort zone is part of that as well. And then your sleep improves. So that's a huge regulator when it comes to stress hormones. We talk about sleep all the time and how important it is to get that. And when you get the right amount of sleep, your mood rises, your self-trust rises, and your creativity rises as well.
Yeah, so there's a psychological piece that people miss here. That exercise actually is like us voting for ourselves. It's proof that we can still act even when we're not feeling like it.
Yeah, exercise rebuilds that agency, and agency is the enemy of hopelessness. So super important to start exercising and start challenging yourself in those ways. So now we'll jump into really the most important detail when it comes to this is going to be that intensity. So here's the part that really surprised people the most when it came to that study that I mentioned earlier. They found that light to moderate intensity may be more beneficial than going full savage mode on it.
Yeah, so like literally getting up and taking a walk in the morning, or like when you are starting to feel like down, you have that like low energy, because depression already is draining our batteries.
Yeah, they found that really you want to kind of keep doing this consistently. It's not just going to be stepping into the gym one time or taking that walk one time. You really start to see those benefits over time. And what they found is it happens really in between those 13 to 36 sessions of workout that you're doing. So it's going to be those small doses, that's repeated over and over again, that is going to really lead to that change in your mood and your whole trajectory.
We don't want to become stagnant here, doing the same sort of repetition of exercise daily, because that too can lead to us not wanting to do it anymore, right? We get bored. So mix up our exercise and resistance training. It actually is more effective than just a walk every day.
Yeah, you're going to want to combine that walking, but with also some strength training. We've talked about that on this podcast a lot, what strength training does for you in terms of building muscle to help burn fat, but also how it also helps you be strong mentally, especially when you have a strong lower body. Okay,
so I'm depressed. Now what, right? How do I even get started? Great, this all sounds wonderful, but like, I already am depressed, so what's the plan? The real question that we should be asking ourselves is that depression doesn't lower just our mood, it also can lower that motivation piece.
Yeah, so we're not prescribing go on a 3-mile run or something like that. It's really more of having a floor, really having a minimum that counts, and a minimum dose does win, again, when you do it repeatedly and long term. So what you're looking to do is kind of pick one if you're just starting out. And that could be a 5-minute walk outside, 2 minutes of stairs, 10 body weight squats, 10 wall push-ups. So it's really just starting out with what you have around you as well. Do a music walk, so one song outside, no phone, no scrolling. That will help your mentality as well as you're doing these type of exercises. Or just put on a YouTube video and stretch on the floor for 4 minutes.
Yeah, usually once you get started on something, then your body is waking up a little bit more, and you start to notice that benefit, like get sparked in your body. So then you're able to work out for a longer period of time here. So if you can do more, that's great. But just remember, like I simply went for a 5-minute walk today. That's a win for me.
Yeah, motion creates emotion and creates momentum for you. So that's always good. So now we're going to jump into a 14-day mood lift protocol challenge that we want you to participate in, and definitely let us know in the comments how it goes for you. So if you're listening, we want you to actually kind of reclaim this part of your life. So for 14 days, we want you to try to pick something off that menu earlier. So daily walk for 10 minutes would be a good option for somebody to start out with. Light, moderate. If you can talk, but you're slightly winded, then you're kind of in that good zone at that point.
Number 2 is to do microdose strength training. So aim for 3 days a week, 6 minutes total. So not talking about a lot of time here, people. Set a timer, do 2 rounds of these exercises, 10 squats, 8 incline push-ups. So hands on either a counter, or sometimes the wall is okay too. If you're lower on the wall, maybe your couch. Hold a 20-second plank. Maybe you start even lower than that. And then rest for 30 seconds. Repeat that round. Done. That's it.
All right. And the third thing is get some sun on your face or your body daily. I know that can be tough for a lot of us, especially if you're in the Midwest or the East Coast where it can be very cloudy during the winter months. But anytime that sun peeks out, that's a good opportunity to get a little bit of sun on your face, preferably without any sunglasses. Don't stare directly at the sun or anything like that. But that's just has all kinds of benefits for you, the vitamin D, and also gives you energy from the sun. So there's so many benefits when it comes to getting sunlight on your body for a small amount of time each day.
Yeah, this matters because the goal isn't that we need to become a gym person overnight. The goal is that we become someone who sends our brain those signals, those good feeling signals.
All right. So one way to track this is just to make a note in your phone. 14-day mood lift protocol, put the 10-minute walk in there, the strength training at either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So you can kind of split it up there. Get that 2 minutes of daylight, if not a little bit more, is always a good thing as well.
So we've heard of those food journals, but really start like an exercise journal. After you've completed your workout or this routine that we're setting up for you, day 1, list out all the way through day 14 and write how you feel. Maybe it's a rating scale of 1 to 10. My mood is a 3 now, or my mood went from being a 0 because I'm not really feeling it today to now a 5 or 6. So right after you rate yourself before you start the routine and then again after the routine. And it's not because we're obsessed with those numbers. It's just a good way for us to build that awareness in ourselves of how exercise, how a routine that we're putting in place is impacting us.
All right. So we mentioned this at the top of the show, but we definitely want to mention it again. Quick reality check. Depression can definitely be dangerous. So we're not saying this is going to solve all your problems.
Yeah, but know that exercise actually can be and is very powerful. It's, again, not a replacement for what professionals care can give to people. It's just something to add to our daily regimen.
All right, guys. So if you're on medication, don't stop or change anything without speaking to your doctor first. If you're feeling unsafe or having thoughts of self-harm, please seek help immediately. You can do that in the U.S. by calling 988 or your local emergency number.
So again, this episode isn't about guilt. It is about hope for everyone.
All right. So we thank you for joining us today and hearing us out when it comes to the exercise and how it can be a benefit to add to your regimen there when it comes to therapy and your antidepressants, and can maybe help you slowly progress to feeling better. So don't forget to do that 14-day mood lift protocol challenge and then let us know how you're feeling. And make sure that you follow Superhumanistic so you never miss another episode. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.